One thing that I've learned is that success leaves clues. And although you may think that there's no blueprint for the type of life that you want to live, you can always take inspiration from other people's lifestyles to build a blueprint of your own. The best way to do that is look for other highly successful women who are in positions or possess the qualities that you desire in your own life. So we're going to talk about some successful habits that I've realized in these highly successful women that I've met and how we can implement them in our lives together. I'm Morgan and welcome back to my channel, Actualized AF, where we talk strategies and tips to actualize all the goals you desire and become that person you've always visualized. And today we're talking the daily habits of highly successful women. I am now in a space of my life and career where I'm building out a more intentional and strategic network, but more so to curate a circle of women who are supportive of my goals and also inspire me through their own habits to become a better human myself. And actually, someone in my very own circle gave me this phrase and they called it the goddess circle. A circle of highly successful women who you consider goddesses and who you actually want to learn from and actually want to be inspired by. And when my friend said this, I took it and ran with it because I think it is such a beautiful way to look at building your network and building your sisterhood. Networking has traditionally been so masculine. It has such a masculine energy around it. Go into a room, know who you want to talk to, tell them about the opportunities. That's usually how networking is kind of conveyed to anyone who's pursuing a career or just wants something better in life. But there is also an opportunity to approach building a more professional, successful network by thinking of it from a feminine perspective and realizing that honestly, you can have a circle of women who tap into themselves, tap into each other. It ultimately comes back to you, but you can outpour and, pour that into the person beside you and have that kind of outpouring going around in a circle of, beauty, in a circle of success, in a circle of femininity. It can just be this kind of reciprocal motion that happens within a community of highly successful women. It also means kind of building out your board of directors. I've heard that before. Thinking about who you need in your life for you to be successful. However you think of it, whether it's a goddess circle or your own personal board of directors, think of it as a way for you to be poured into so that you can pour out into the world and positively move humanity forward. I've noticed some different things, some different habits that some of the women that I'm interacting with do regularly. So the first thing is ownership. And what I mean by ownership is ownership of self and ownership of your own emotions, your own thoughts, and your own reactions. The women that I have come across have a really good sense of who they are, but also they own their emotions and they take ownership of their flesh as opposed to their flesh taking ownership of them. And that is the key right there, because once you realize that you have control over yourself and the way that you act and the way that you react, you're more able to navigate difficult situations in the world as opposed to let the world run you. The way that the successful women that I interact with have done this is by taking ownership of their mornings, having a solid morning routine, and also meditating and moving with intention. One CEO of a very powerful nonprofit organization here in Atlanta actively speaks to the power of meditation in the morning and tapping into self in order to understand what emotions are temporary and what emotions could possibly be permanent or moving toward permanence, because no emotion is permanent. What emotions could possibly be moving toward permeating within the body, how to differentiate between those emotions and act accordingly, whether to let temporary emotions pass or to actively investigate more permeating emotions in order to change up their lives. Like, if they don't want to experience that emotion, what do? What can we eliminate from this situation in order to get rid of that, because I don't want to feel it anymore? They actively do this through meditation. This powerful CEO speaks on this, the power of meditating and sitting in thought and being present. Not just being present, but understanding, again, present emotions, seeing where they fit in your life. If the puzzle doesn't fit together, then something needs to be removed. That changes everything. It changes the way that you approach situations. It changes the way that you approach, decision making, outlining your own personal boundaries or your professional boundaries at work, or making decisions for your life, realizing actually what you want out of life. The idea of ownership can start in such a small area of your life, like taking ownership of your mornings and realizing how that ownership over a specific part of your day translates into the rest of your day, and therefore it translates into your life. The highly successful women that I have met realize that they have power within themselves to make their own decisions, to set their own boundaries, and actually create opportunities for themselves to succeed and not wait on anyone else. And that all comes down to realizing that you have ownership and that you have power over your body, your mind, and your life. The second thing that I've realized with highly successful women whom I have met is that they are strategic planners. They prioritize, they create to-do lists, and once they realize something needs to be done, they do it. I actually see this habit in one woman who runs a leadership organization that I'm a part of. She basically conceptualized a really big idea and made it happen in a year's time, and didn't just make it happen at a minimum level, but everything that we need in this organization, she makes it happen. Pieces of feedback that we provide to her as participants have already been implemented into the next program, into the next month's meeting. She's able to take action because she is so organized, and she prioritizes what needs to be fixed immediately and what can actually be done in the amount of time that we have. I'm constantly inspired by her, and I also do this in my own personal life. At the start of the week, I have a weekly to-do list, and I write out everything that I need to do for the week, even if I don't even need to do it for the week. These are just tangible tasks that need to be complete at some point. Then I go in with my daily planner. I take everything from my weekly planner and move it over to my daily planner, and I prioritize basically what I can take out of this week's list of to-dos, and what can I fit in today's schedule. So I consult my calendar every morning, and I look at my calendar and say, okay, I have this amount of time, I have these time blocks to do everything, and here's what I can fit in from my weekly planner into my to-do list. I actually started taking a block of time in the mornings, every morning, before I even start doing work, to strategically plan my day. You get so much more done when you just take out 30 minutes before you even start doing anything for the day to just sit and plan your day. You might say, oh, I don't have time, I just have to start working, yada, yada, yada. Well, tap back in to tip number 1, ownership. If you are hired to do this task, then you have time to own your day and make sure that you can complete the task. And for me, the only way that I can complete the task that I was hired to do or that I know that I have to do for my business is for me to take time, take a step back, and strategically plan my day. So have ownership over yourself and your choices by taking time to strategically plan your day. The third thing that I realized that highly successful people, and specifically women, do is make time for movement and nourishment, fueling your body and your mind. The women who I look up to are super smart. They're intelligent. They can hold their own in conversations. They ask questions, not just any question, but critical questions that move conversations forward. These are the kinds of people I want to engage in conversation with. You have to be knowledgeable about things that are happening in the world, international affairs, domestic affairs, things that are happening in entertainment, around your neighborhood, down the street. You just have to know what's going on around your community and within yourself. And nourishment, it includes nourishing your mind with understanding yourself first, so that you can realize the impact of your own decision making and your own contributions to society. One woman who I see this doing so well is actually my friend Dominique. She runs a nourishment group that I'm a part of. She basically works with people to change their bloodline, change their thinking about their own health and wellness. And I love the way that she does this because she operates from a place of ease. She informs us about the power of moving your body and moving your mind daily from a place of you're not just doing this for yourself. You're literally changing your DNA so that your future children or the way that you interact with other people and the world, literally you're vibrating higher. Finding people, yes, who like to work out and move their bodies and just stay healthy is super important, but also finding people who do it for the right reasons. Yes, I too want to look good, but I also want to be inspired by women who truly know the power of, to the core, why it is important to move your body and move your mind for not just self-growth, but for growth of, your own communities and growth of the world. And that all ties into self-transformation. That's another daily habit of highly successful women is they prioritize self-education. And the only way that we can know the power of the body and the mind and that connection is to educate ourselves on the science of the body. It's to educate ourselves on the power of ourselves in the world. It's to educate ourselves on, how we can grow into better human beings. Get self-educated because these highly successful women are making sure that they are staying up to date and staying relevant on things that are happening in society, because ultimately everything comes back to us, and also everything has a ripple effect. And that's what highly successful women know. It's not the fact that we're just out here reading books. It's we know the impact of our knowledge and how it shapes society, period. Another thing that highly successful women do is they celebrate wins. They celebrate their own wins, maybe through an end of day journal or taking time to practice gratitude, for example, through meditation or daily ritual practices. But also it's celebrating wins between other women and other relationships. I witnessed this so beautifully this past weekend at a conference that I went to. It was called the Women in Focus Summit, specifically for women who are behind the camera operators, cinematographers, film directors, producers, women who are in creative spaces that are traditionally male dominated. And one thing that I noticed on the panel that was so beautiful is that some women knew each other, but they were giving each other their flowers, and they were recognizing the beauty in other women who they've witnessed their journey rather than only speaking about their wins. When we recognize positivity, when we recognize forward movement when we recognize even lessons learned that from other people. It helps us recognize that within ourselves. We're a mirror of who we talk to, what we see, what we accept in society. We only form relationships around people who we believe who we're at the same level as. And I want to be at the same level as people who celebrate each other, recognize each other, recognize just good things that are happening that aren't necessarily dealing with themselves. The purpose is higher. The purpose is mission-based as opposed to individual-based. We're also supporting someone else's dream happening. Imagine a world where women are able to, especially very highly successful women, are able to continue dreaming. We're going to continue to be able to make things happen in the world. So we need to keep doing this, and we need to keep celebrating ourselves and each other. The last habit that I realized that highly successful women do is show up as her. You will never meet a highly successful woman showing up to a place where they know that they're that girl looking a mess. And of course, we all have those times. I'm not even gonna hold you. Whenever I leave the house, I want to embody the spirit of the woman who I visualize in my mind. So I'm going to show up as that person. I'm going to dress like that person. I'm going to put myself together as that person. And I'm going to remind people why I am the person that I say that I am. And not necessarily that they need a reminder, but I never want anyone out here questioning it, because it's already hard enough. Okay, it's already hard enough for us to leave the house as highly successful women and have people continuously questioning us. That's just a sub reason of why, you need to embody the spirit and dress like the woman you want to be. The main reason is because when you embody her, it brings out another side of you, a spiritual side, just a inner confidence, an inner next level that no one can mess with. When you look good, you feel good, and you operate in a way that is on par with the way that you feel. The way that you operate in society is the way that you operate internally. The way that you operate externally is the way that you feel internally. It's reciprocal. Once you feel good, you will start treating others how you feel inside. If we operate in a way where women can be highly successful, that means that we're operating on a frequency of love, of respect, of ingenuity, of just beauty, where we can get things done, make things happen, support each other in making things happen. And any woman who is watching this knows, like, when women get together, things happen. Okay, so we want to continue to make things happen. We want to continue to make good things happen in society that move the needle. The only way to do that is to embody habits of highly successful women. And it's not just getting things done and operating on a to-do list and showing up in our masculine energy. It's truly understanding our higher purpose in society, our higher purpose on this Mother Earth, and operating accordingly. So, honey, how are you going to operate after watching this video? Let me know down below in the comments. Let me know some other habits of some highly successful women, including yourself, that you want to share with the world, because honey, we are out here getting it. We're going to change some stuff up. So thank you for watching my channel, Actualized AF, where we talk strategies and tips to actualize all the goals you desire and become that person you've always visualized. Thanks for watching, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.
So proudly I'm standing here right now, you're so demanding. Tell me what you want from me. Concluding.